Yeah, guys. So today we are focusing on how to implement object-oriented programming in C Sharp. Okay, like how to create class, how to create object, all the stuff we are going to discuss. Okay, yeah. So last session I gave you some definition about the object-oriented programming concepts or OOPS features, which are said to be encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. These are the object oriented programming concepts. Okay, hoop concepts. Okay, in any language, guys, you go to any other language, these are the common features of object oriented programming: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay, let us have a look at just brief description of encapsulation. We'll have a look at our document, this interview question document. I'll share you guys. So what is encapsulation meaning? It's a process of binding data members and member functions into a single unit. So what are we doing? We are creating a class. Inside the class, we are keeping data members. Data members means variables, and member functions, nothing but methods, into a single unit. What is that unit name? Nothing but a class. Okay, in C sharp, class is the real-time example of encapsulation because it will combine various types of data members. Data members means variables, and member functions means methods into a single unit. So we are keeping everything related to an object in a container. That means the variables, which are said to be member variables or data members, and member functions, nothing but methods. So we are keeping in a single unit. This process is called as encapsulation. Is it clear, everybody? That is the actual definition you need to say in it. If anyone asks you what is encapsulation, it's a process of binding data members and member functions into a single unit. So in C sharp, the class is the real-time example of encapsulation because we are combining both member variables or data members and member function into a single unit. This is called encapsulation. Okay. Now the second one is, what is abstraction? Okay, so abstraction can be achieved using abstract classes in C sharp. Okay, so we have a concept called abstract class which will be discussed in upcoming topics, guys. We'll discuss it. And it allows you to create abstract classes that are used to provide a partial class implementation of an interface. So if you want to give a class full implementation, we'll create a normal class. Instead of full implementation, partial implementation means only some part of the class you are implementing, and remaining things you are giving it to the child classes or the other classes which are inheriting from the class is called as what you call abstract class. That we will discuss later in upcoming sessions. Just like your parents will not do everything for you guys. Sometimes they will do something in a task. Suppose you need to deposit money in your account or your dad's account or your mom's account. What they will do, they will not do everything like a child. Okay, they will give you money. They'll give you account number or the branch details, like that they will ask you to deposit. That's it. So what is the second part task of you or your brother or somebody? What is the duty of a child? They need to implement the rest of the part. That is, they need to take these details and cash from the parent, and they need to go to bank, whatever branch. Of course, nowadays any branch is accepting money from anywhere. You can go to the nearest branch, and you need to give your parents details, account number, and everything. Money they need to you need to give. Then they will accept and they will deposit that amount into your parents account. So this is called as partial implementation. Something they will do it, remaining they will give you as a task to follow as per the guideline. That is called as abstract class actually. And as I told you, abstract class is something like it is only revealing the related contents or relevant contents, and remaining things will be hidden. It will not show the full features to the child class or others. So whatever part is required, only that part they will keep it, and remaining they will hide it. This is called as abstraction. Okay. Yeah. So coming to the third one, what is inheritance? So it is the mechanism in C sharp by which one class is allowed to inherit the features of another class. So if you are acquiring the properties of an existing class into a new class is called as inheritance. That can be done for fields and methods. Fields means variables, methods means of course whatever member functions methods you are writing, those also can be inherited, can be available to child class. So this process is called as inheritance. And last but not the least, polymorphism. What is polymorphism? It is derived from two Greek words, that is poly and morphos. Poly means many, morphos means forms. So many forms you can do. In object-oriented programming paradigm, polymorphism is often expressed as one interface, multiple functions. Okay, one interface, multiple functions means one task can be done in many ways. As I told you, like method overloading is the best example for polymorphism. Sum is only one task or one interface that can be done in multiple ways using multiple functions. It can be for two numbers you may add, three numbers you may add, four numbers, or an array you can take elements and you can add it. Like this, we'll be writing different ways of implementation. This is called as polymorphism. So these are the four pillars of object-oriented programming: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. And coming to these topics, guys, from 1 and 2, we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. What is a constructor? What is a destructor? All the stuff we'll discuss later. Okay, just go through the document and get ready, so that in interviews definitely they'll ask you all this stuff, like what is static polymorphism, static binding, or early binding. Okay, this is nothing but mechanism of like linking a function with an object oriented, object during compile time is called as early binding, which is also called as static binding or compile time polymorphism, whatever I told you. C Sharp provides two techniques to implement static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism, that is function overloading, nothing but method overloading, and operator overloading. So this operator overloading we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. So these two comes under compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism or static binding or early binding. The question can be in any way, guys. Answer is same. Okay. So runtime polymorphism we'll discuss in upcoming sessions, guys. Okay. Yeah, these all will be in upcoming sessions. Let's go back to our topics, classes and objects. So in the last class, I told you about class is nothing but. So there are so many definitions, guys. As I told you, class is a blueprint of an object. Class is a blueprint of an object, and we can also say class is a type of an object. Okay, like this, there are so many definitions for class. Class is a collection of similar objects or similar type of objects. This is also another definition of class. Collection of similar type of objects. For example, we have something like collection of students. Okay, so what is our class name? .NET class, .NET full stack class. That is said to be our class. You're all the instances, objects of .NET full stack. So that is said to be collection of similar type of objects. So all the students who joined in the session are .NET students only. No sir, we have another class called Python. So all Python students are there in that class. So that is said to be collection of similar type of objects. Same type of students will be sitting in one class. Can be computer science or civil, ECE, mechanical, whatever. Same type of objects if you see as a group, that group is called as a class. Okay. Yeah. So of course we have so many other definitions also. Class is template to an object. Class is a type of an object. These are all other definitions, but these two are the important definitions that you need to remember. So what is object? Object is an instance of a class. Guys, these are the definitions that we have to by heart. As I explained you in the last class, you can say those definitions also, but these are the technical definitions which can be used in a book, in official books. When you're talking about programmatically, these are the definitions, guys. Blueprint of an object, that means uh, same type of objects if you are keeping, that is said to be a class. So what is object? Object is an instance of a class. This is the important point you have to say when somebody is asking about object. So how to create object? So in order to create an object, first you have to create a class. So first we need to define a, creating means defining, define or create a class first. So after writing class, then only you are able to create an object. After defining an object or defining a class, then we can create n number of objects. N number of objects. This is what important thing that you have to remember. Syntax, guys. How to create a class now? Creating a class or defining a class. Syntax. So first we need to define a class, right? How to define it? Syntax. Class space class name. Class name is your wish. Guys, just I'm giving like this angular bracket. That doesn't mean that you need to give angular brackets. We'll give just class name over there. And here we have member variables or data members. Then we write methods. Methods means member functions. Methods means functions. Member functions. Member variables or data members. You can call it anything else. This is the typical class syntax that we need to follow. Okay. Example. Let us create a class called a student. Student is a class. So what a student class contains? We need some variables related to student, right? So you can take integer, roll number, okay, total, something like this I'm taking. And we have a variable like a string name, and we have double average or subjects marks also I'm taking. Subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 subjects. Here what I'm saying, I can take a total average also, double average. Like this you can take so many variables, and you can write methods also. Methods means void accept. Of course, as I explained you, public access modifier we need to use, otherwise we cannot access. Public void accept. You are accepting marks from the user. You can take some parameters. I'm not writing everything right now. Just I'm writing, the syntax how to write it. Okay. You can write one more method. Public void display. Display is for displaying the results, total and average, including everything I want to display. That is said to be public display method. So accept is for accepting details like roll number, name, and everything. These are the variables to store the data. So a typical class contains like this: some variables which are related to this entity, okay, and some methods or actions that we are doing inside the class. So these are the two things that we need to remember while defining a class. And finally, we need to create an object, guys. How to create object? We have a syntax. Creating object. How to create object? Class name space object name is equal to new class name and then parenthesis open close semicolon. This is the definition of creating an object after creating a class. Example, class name is student, let us say student, object name is yes is equal to new student open close bracket semicolon. So this process of creating object is also called as instantiation. Instantiation. What is the meaning? Creating instance. Instance means what? Object. Is it clear, everybody? Instantiation meaning object creation. Okay, why should I create object? Do not say that I need to accept all these or I need to call all the methods. Why should I create object? creating now a class. Why should I create object? If I don't create object, memory for this all variables and methods will not be allocated. That is why you have to create object. So creating class is just like a skeleton, guys. You have a skeleton or a blueprint is available. That is said to be creating a class. I mean, you are going to construct a house. You have a blueprint. That is said to be class. But the moment you create an object, then only the building is getting ready physically. You are able to see the building. So same way, if you create object, then only you are able to accept or call the variables or methods, because these will not be coming into memory until unless you create an object. These are all dummy until unless you create an object. No sir, we have created object. Then yes, you have all the variables available in memory. You can call everything with the help of the object called yes dot accept. You can call accept method, and also you can call display method s dot display method. Like this we can do it. This is all about creating object and creating classes. Okay, so creating class is nothing but you are defining a class or creating a class. Creating object is nothing but okay, instance of a class. Okay, instantiation. You are creating instance of the class, then only memory will be allocated. You are able to call all the variables and methods from the object only. Okay, so these are the points we need to remember. So now what is our coding style from today? So previous sessions we were just writing everything inside the program class, right? But now what do we do? So previously we were doing like this. As soon as you create a new project in Visual Studio, it is creating a class called program. On top of it, we have a namespace. Namespace, something like I created a demo. Say for example, demo C# or demo OOP1, something like that. I created demo OOP1. Okay, that is my namespace name created. Inside the class, inside the namespace, we have a class called program. Inside this the program might the class program might have internal or something called public, and inside this static void main will be there, and inside this you may write any code like this was the old model of coding, guys. Previous examples we did like this, but today onwards, what is the difference with object oriented programming and without object oriented programming? So previously I was writing code here. Today onwards, what do we do? So namespace name is demo of 1, and we have only one class called program till now. But today onwards, since we are working with object oriented programming, what we need to do is you need to create one more class, at least one more class. So the class can be any place, guys. You can write a class here, class sample. I'm creating a class sample. You can write your own code here. What do we write inside this? We know we'll write some variables, methods, whatever. So apart from program class, which is also called as main class, because why are we calling it as main? Because we have main method. It is the entry point of your C# program. That is why this is called as main class. Apart from main class, we will create other classes as well. From today onwards, we are going to write at least one additional class apart from the main class or program class. And as I told you in the beginning, what is this demo one? Come on, guys, please respond. What is demo one? Demo one is a namespace. What is meant by namespace? Yeah, very good. What is meant by namespace? Collection of classes and
Correct.
interfaces. Okay. Yeah, collection of unique classes and interfaces. Yeah, now you can understand. Yes, I have a namespace called demo one. In that we have two classes called program class and sample class. So this is what the point we need to remember when you are working with object oriented programming. Okay, yeah, let's get started, guys. So let's create a new project. We are moving to Visual Studio 2022, or let me open, yeah, 19. Of course, you can use anything, guys, any IDE. Object oriented programming will remain same, but only thing is it will give you help for 2026. Of course, we can disable the help, guys. Let me. It is giving automatically as soon as you write the comments. That is why I'm opening this Visual Studio 2019. So I'm creating a class now. Create a new project. So what are we doing? We have to enter a project name. Project name is demo one, like that you can give it. Inside that, we have to create classes and objects. And one more thing is, in the last session I told you something about access modifiers. I don't know whether you remember it or not. Access modifiers. There are seven access modifiers actually, but right now we are discussing the first four, like a private, which is accessible within the class, public, accessible to all the classes, and protected. It is used when we have inheritance, like in the current class and to its child classes it is accessible. And internal is something like a, if you want to access any class within the current project or current namespace only, then we go for internal. And there is something called protected internal. These are the combinations, guys. Private, protected, and there is something called a file. These are the seven types of access modifier available in a C sharp. So I gave you already in the last session, explained about all these things. Just I'm giving a recap of all this. Private, only accessible within the current class. Accessible within the current class only. What is public? Accessible to anybody, guys? What is public? Public means accessible to, definitely interview questions, guys. They will ask you minimum one or two questions from access modifiers, guys. So public means accessible to all the classes in the all the classes. Protected means to the current class and to its child classes. Okay, means derived classes. To the current class means parent and to the child, but not to other classes. That is called as protected. Internal, accessible to all the classes within the current namespace. All the classes within the current namespace. Only within the namespace, if you want to access, we go for internal. Okay. So remaining protected, internal, private, protected, we'll discuss later, guys. Okay. So right now we are focusing on this private, public, and internal. Right now we will see only these three, because we should have inheritance concept, guys, in order to understand what is protected and private, protected, and protected internal, all the stuff. So that's the reason we are not talking about these three as of now. File also we'll discuss later when we want to give file scope for any method or variable. We use file actually. Okay. Yeah. So let us get started with this one, private, public, yeah, internal. These three we are going to see now in our example. Okay. Yeah. What is the default access modifier in a C sharp? This is the interview question, guys. So these are all seven access modifiers we have. Okay, that's fine. If I don't mention anything, what is the default access modifier in C sharp? Access modifier in C sharp. Any guess, guys? Access modifiers or access specifiers, both are same, guys. So what is the default access modifier in C sharp? The answer is, the default access modifier in C sharp is private within the class. Inside the class, private. Private is the access point. And if you go inside the namespace, it is internal. Inside the namespace, it is internal. This is a little bit tricky question, guys. This you will understand later what is inside namespace. But inside the class, whatever variables you are writing, whatever methods you are writing, all are private, means they cannot be accessible outside the class. Then how to access? Better to use public or internal. Okay, you can use either public or internal. So protected, private, protected internal, these will be used only when we have inheritance. So that we are skipping this. Private means within the class only you can access. So generally we'll give private for variables. Public, any method you can make it as public because it contains only logic. It doesn't have any data, so that you can make methods as public. Here I'm writing is we create variables. We create variables. Data members or member fields. Private access mode. Public. Most of the cases, methods, all the methods of the class and uh, classes also can be public. Okay. Yeah. As of now, all the methods of the class can be public or internal. Public or internal. You can use any one of this. So internal, of course, I explained in the same. Internal means within the accessible to all the classes, but within the current namespace. Okay. Yeah. So most of the methods will have public or internal. Most of the variables, data members will have private. These are the important points you need to remember. Okay. Yeah. So what is this inside the class private and inside the namespace internal? Okay. Let's go back to our example. You can see here. We have a namespace called demo of one. Inside the namespace, now we have two classes, right? Sample class, class program. So this level inside the namespace, this class doesn't have any access modifier before this. So this is called as, okay, internal. And see guys, this is also internal class program. So inside the namespace, first level means classes or interfaces, whatever you write without any access modifier, those are called as internal. Inside the class, if you are creating any variable like integer a or something, that means what? It is a private variable. I did not write anything, sir. It's empty like integer a wrote it. That's it. It is a private variable. So inside the class, first level, I mean second level. So inside the class, whatever variables you are writing or methods you are writing without any access modifier, those are called as private. Inside the namespace, whatever you are writing like sample class, program class, they're all said to be internal, whether you mention it or if you don't mention it. If you mention means you need to explicitly saying that I want public class or I want private, class, something like that. That is completely your choice. I mean, depends upon the requirement, we go for it, guys. Okay, let's go to example. We have opened our Visual Studio. Select console.NET framework. Next, now I'm selecting our folder here, C# online APM, and here demo OOP1. I'm giving same name, guys. Demo OOP1. This is what my project name. It will create a namespace with that name, and it will create a class called what you call program class by default with main method. This is what I told you. You will see that. So after creating the project, we will create a simple class today, and we will try to create an object for the class, and we'll try to call the methods from the class itself. Okay. So yeah, I think it is recording. Yeah, it's recording. So this is what we are going to see now. Creating a class, and we are creating a program method is program class is already there, main method is already there. So we need to write the remaining guys. You can see the screen now. Guys, we have a class called program. What is the namespace name? Demo one. So now what are we doing? Our topic is we are writing a command, creating a class and object. So creating a class and object, or defining a class and an object. Yeah, how to define a class or create a class? Class name. What is the class name? I said sample. My class name is sample, guys. Okay, sample class. Inside sample class, I can write variables actually, but I'm writing only one method, public void. Let us remove public right now. Just will write void hello. I want to create a method called hello. I don't have any variables right now. If you want to write a variable, you can take a variable and you can use it. Right now, just I'm writing a method. Console.writeLine hello from sample, like that I'm writing, guys. Just I wrote this. So what is my project contains now? My project contains a namespace called demo one, inside which we have two classes. First class is sample, second class is program. Anyhow, this is common class. We have to keep it main class. And the extra class which I have created is a class called sample. Inside that we have a method called hello. So what is the access modifier for this hello? Is it private or public or internal? Any guess, guys?
Public.
Okay. Anybody? The hello method is inside the sample class. So what is the access modifier for hello method? Before void, what will be there? I mean, you can write it explicitly, private or public or internal like that. But if I don't give any access modifier, what will be there? That is my question. So I gave you the notes itself. You can see this. What is the
Internal. Internal.
look at this? What is the default access modifier in C sharp? Inside the class, what is it? Private. Inside the namespace, yes, Maheshwar, it is right. It is internal. So we are inside the class, right? We are inside the class sample. So the hello method is inside the class. So this is private method. So what is meaning of private method? What is meant by private? Only accessible within the current class. That is the point. Let us check it out. So now I want to access this hello. So what I did here, I need to create object of the class. So creating object of class, or creating object. Which object? Sample class object I need to create. How to create? Sample s is equal to new sample. My class is ready. Object is created. Sample s is equal to new sample means creation of object. It is also called as instantiation. Yes, instantiation is done. Now with the help of object called s, or object reference variable, this is called as object reference variable. With that I am calling methods. S dot hello, like that I am calling. See guys, I am getting an error when I am trying to call s dot hello. Actually this is the right way to call. S dot hello is okay to call, but it is showing error. Why? Can anyone read this error message? Let me zoom it for you. I'm showing the error message now. Let's have a look at it, because this is most widely getting error. Look at the screen, guys. What is the error message? Sample.hello is inaccessible due to its production level. So please write down this kind of error messages, guys, so that it's easy for you while you are working in real time. You can easily fix the errors. So it is not accessible. Hello is not accessible due to its production level. What is the production level? Since it is private, you cannot access outside the class. We are in a program class, but my sample class is in a different place, so you cannot access it. So what should I do? Since it is private, you have to made it as public or internal. So I made it as public, guys. Now you can see there is no error. That means you are able to run the program, and you can see the output called hello world, or whatever you wrote it inside this hello from sample will be displayed. Let us run it and check it out. See the output, guys. The output will be like a hello from sample. That message will be displayed when you run it. Guys, it's running. So opening a command prompt and it will give you the output on the screen. See the output, guys. Now we are able to see the output of this program hello from sample. So is it clear, everybody? This is the way to call. Now let's create another method inside the same sample class, but this time we will make the access modifier as internal, not a private. Sorry, not a public. Okay, private means it cannot be accessible, right? So let us create another method. The method name is welcome. But this time, if I say void welcome like this without any access modifier, can I access it? Welcome to object oriented programming, like that I wrote something. Come on, guys. So can I call this method called welcome from here? Can I call s dot welcome? Yes or no? Please respond, guys. Can I call s dot welcome here? Look at the code. Just I wrote void welcome. Can I access? Can we access welcome or not? Yeah, no, we cannot access because it is private by default. So let us write internal. I'm writing. We have a keyword called internal that I'm writing now. So guys, now we can access it. Either internal or public can be accessible within the current namespace. Now I'm saying s dot welcome. So perfectly valid. Okay, now you can run it and test it. So we have a class called sample in which I wrote two methods. One method is hello method, which is public method, which is accessible. Internal void welcome, that is also internal method accessible. And I'm writing one more method called test method. This is private type, private void test. Here I'm writing my private method, something like this I wrote it. We cannot access test because private means what? It is accessible within the current class only. But where are we trying to access? We are trying to access here. S dot test. See guys, it is not coming in this, but still I am writing manually. So this is said to be not accessible. You will get error because private methods cannot be accessible. Cannot access. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now you can access these two. Since my class name is sample, I created three methods: private method, public method, and internal method. Private is not at all accessible in my class called program, but hello can be accessible and welcome also can be accessible because public and internal can be accessible within the current namespace. Internal means within the current namespace, public means across all the other projects also we can access. Right now we don't have any other projects, we are leaving it like this. Let's run it and test it. We are running it and we'll see the output. Now you can see output from two methods, hello method as well as welcome. See the output, guys. Hello from sample, welcome to OOP. Like this we called two methods from a class called sample. So this is what we are doing, guys. So in tomorrow's session I will show you in real time how do we do this. Okay, this is for easiness. I created inside this namespace called demo of one. I have two classes, sample class and a program class. In real time we will not do everything in one file. We will create multiple files. We'll create a separate file for sample class, can be sample.cs. In that we will write all these methods. Then we will write the object creation and all in the program class. This is the way we do it actually. So let me copy paste it in our notes and tomorrow we'll continue with the remaining topics. So any questions, guys? Suma, if you have any questions, you can ask me. So tomorrow I'll ask you all the questions, guys, and I'll share you this interview questions document. Okay, so that this will be helpful. So please go through the document and prepare your answers. Tomorrow I'll ask you how many questions you are able to say. You try to say, so that will continue. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.